You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, guys, we're going to be talking about Brittney Griner here in this video. You guys are pretty well aware that Brittney Griner is actually serving her 9-year sentence in Russia right now. She's going to be in prison for a very, very long time. And I believe that her appeal is actually coming up next week, if I believe. And Cheryl Griner's come out and said that, man, if this appeal doesn't actually go well, which I don't think it will, I don't believe that anybody believes that this appeal will succeed. Brittney Griner could actually be facing a labor camp, a.k.a. concentration camp. Now, guys, that brings us to one Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin. Now, Brittney Griner actually voted for Beijing Biden. I'm pretty sure she's probably regretting that vote right now, folks, because I believe we've been pretty clear on this channel. Joe Biden does not care about Brittney Griner. He is just using her as a virtue signal, nothing more. And guys, she has to know. The people that actually support Joe Biden in the WNBA, they have to know after what he said, what we're going to be talking about here in this video. Brittney Griner's screwed. She is screwed. Now, I know that Bill Richardson actually said that she'll probably be home by the end of the year. I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure. So that brings us to Joe Biden and the G20 summit. That's actually coming up next month. And guess who's going to be there? Vladimir Putin will be there along with Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden is allegedly supposed to be the leader of this country. And of course, Vladimir Putin is the leader over there in Russia. Russia has all the chips. The U.S. wants Brittney Griner, but Russia has pretty much said, you know what? She is not a high priority for us. Vladimir Putin is actually more concerned about other things. But one would actually think, since they're actually going to be in the same place at the G20 summit, that Joe Biden would actually want to talk about Brittney Griner to Vladimir Putin. However, guys, that's not the case. Here we go over here on Newsweek. Biden says he's not planning to talk to Putin at G20 unless about Griner. See, this is a deceptive title here, folks. This is very, very deceptive right here. Joe Biden doesn't want to talk to Vladimir Putin at all. And he just pretty much confirmed that, folks. He's going to be pretty much in the same room with Vladimir Putin. But there's a catch to this, folks. Let's read this. Beijing Biden said he has no plans to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the upcoming G20 summit, unless it's to discuss the release of imprisoned WNBA star Brittney Griner. Biden made the remarks during an interview Tuesday evening with CNN's Jake Tapper that focused on Beijing Biden's assessment of his Russian counterpart's intentions. The interview reinforced the frosty relations between Moscow and Washington as Biden scolded Putin for threatening to use nuclear weapons to further his invasion of Ukraine. Biden signaled he was open to talking about the release of Griner, who has been in prison in Russia since February. Tapper asked Biden if he is willing to meet at the G20 or Group of 20 in November next month, where leaders from the world's largest economies will gather in Bali, Indonesia. And this is what he said. Beijing Biden says this, quote, "Look, I have no intention of meeting with him," said Biden. But for example, if he came to me at the G20 and said, "I want to talk about the release of Griner," I would meet with him. This is a major, major problem here, folks. Look at the words here. He doesn't want to meet with Putin whatsoever. He says that Putin would have to come to him about Brittney Griner and talk about a release. We know that Vladimir Putin is not going to do that. He does not care about Brittney Griner. Vladimir Putin is actually more concerned about Ukraine. Joe Biden says he's not going to talk to Vladimir Putin unless Putin initiates a conversation about Griner. He's right there. If Joe Biden actually cared about Brittney Griner, Joe Biden would actually initiate the conversation on Brittney Griner. But Joe Biden just said, nah, I'm not talking to him at all. He has to come to me. And it's only about Brittney Griner, nothing else. This is politics at play here, folks. This is politics at play. Joe Biden has a golden opportunity to actually show he actually cares about Brittney Griner, but he's not going to do it. He is not going to initiate the conversation. He doesn't want to talk to Vladimir Putin because of the whole Ukraine thing. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff I can actually talk about with Ukraine. I'm not going to get into the politics of that here on this channel. But Brittney Griner voted for Joe Biden, and he has a golden opportunity to meet with the leader of Russia and say, hey, guess what? We want Brittney Griner. We sent you an offer because allegedly it's about Victor Bout, but we don't know for sure. And Russia has not responded. He has the leader of Russia right there in Indonesia next month, and he doesn't want to talk to him about this whatsoever. He's saying that Vladimir Putin has to bring her up. And Joe Biden and his handlers know that Vladimir Putin is not bringing up Brittney Griner. There's no reason for him to actually bring up Brittney Griner. None whatsoever. Boy, WNBA, man, they voted for Joe Biden. And Joe Biden and his administration has been virtue signaling. This was the one big opportunity here to actually make a dent and try to bring Brittney Griner back home. But he doesn't care. He does not care because this is politics at play. His pride is at play right here. He doesn't give a damn about Brittney Griner. You people in the WNBA, boy, you guys supported this man. And in return, he's saying, nope, I'm not going to initiate a conversation to get Brittney Griner back. Boy, you guys got played, completely played. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.